Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everybody. This is Alan Ratafia from BizPayO, and we welcome you to today's session. We know you're going to learn a lot. We're going to get going in just a couple of minutes after the hour. There's still some people joining, and I can see a whole bunch of people who I know, which is very exciting. Barbara, Kathy, Charles, from all over the country, California, Connecticut, very exciting. With us today also is Mark Howard, who's going to be joining and participating in some of the session, as well as Callie in the background, helping us with some administrative stuff. So, hey, Mark, why don't you go ahead and speak, and let's make sure everybody can hear us.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. Well, I'm Mark, and we definitely thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to have a really great session, lots of great new features that we've built over the past few months. Really exciting today. Just to get started and to make sure that we can get these questions, and maybe we'll start with a quick question. If you can tell us, and you can just type this into the chat window, on a scale of 1 to 5, how easy is it for you to get paid today? How easy is it for you to get paid today? You can just enter that into the chat window, and we'll start to have a look at it as we wait for a few more folks to join.
Thanks, Mark. That's terrific. I'm assuming everybody could also see the screen, the blue screen where it says BizPayO on it with 4 different bullet points below it. If you don't see it, let us know, but everybody should be able to see that. And we'll come back and begin the session in about 3 minutes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's session on BizPayO, talking about the significant enhancements we've made to the platform over the past few months, and something that we think that you're going to significantly enjoy during this upcoming busy season, which honestly everybody has at certain points during the year. So as we get going, I want you to feel free to ask any questions, of course, in the questions window. We will be replying. This is moderated, so just feel free to do that. My name is Alan Ratafia. I'm the founder and CEO. This is me here, and my partner and co-founder, Mark Howard, is also on the session today, listening and helping out behind the scenes. And before I really get into some of the enhancements, I want to make it clear that I'm very sensitive to your time, so we're going to move quickly today. It's going to go rapid, and you'll have a chance to ask questions. We'll handle all of that. But I just want to give you a little background in that BizPayO was started by me a few years ago to resolve a problem in my business. The problem that I had was that I was doing really terrific work, but I was not getting paid like I wanted to. I didn't want to have accounts receivable. I wanted to be able to engage my clients quickly and not have to worry about future payments. And I did not want to pay the processing fees. So it was actually built to solve a problem just for me selfishly. Once that worked, we decided, hey, you know what? Other people might like this too. And it has grown to be a fairly significant service, something that I believe you're going to think is terrific for today. Okay, so let's just get going just for a sec. I think you all probably know that BizPayO's mission here is to get you paid quickly, give you the opportunity to engage your clients in less than a minute, have all those payments stream in, recover the processing fees. Also, this part here, instant reviews, you're going to love what this does, automated for you to help you grow your business. So one of the key features in BizPayO is that your customers, when they pay you, they're going to have the choice. If they owe you $100, they're going to come in and have a button, either pay you by card at a fee that you decide to set. You don't have to set it. Most will set it to 3% or a fixed fee or 0, or they'll pay by e-check, which is always no fee. This way, they never feel like their only way to pay you is through a fee method. So this is the preferred method that we use. It works beautifully, and this is how you'll be running yours if you don't already have that now. So in other words, people who are on this session, many of you are existing BizPayO users, so this is just a refresher. Others are like, hey, what is this thing? So I'm trying to do both, so just bear with me a little bit. Now, one of the other things that you need to know, that this is something new we've put into place in about the past 6 months, is anytime somebody makes a payment to you, they're prompted after the payment is successful to give you a little feedback about how you're doing in your business. It's automated, so a screen pops up and says, hey, can you please let me know how I'm doing? Please give me a rating. And that person can click stars, even click some tags. Yeah, I like their work quality and professionalism, and even type in what they want. This serves two important purposes. Number one, you get immediate feedback. So if there's something good, you know. If there's a problem, you know how to resolve it and save that client. Very important best practice method. More importantly, this syncs up to Google and helps your web rankings and helps improve your website. So when people are searching for you, you are now more visible without having to spend time asking for reviews. If somebody doesn't want to do this, they just click off the screen. It's not like they have to do this. It's just an option, and you're going to find that you're going to gather hundreds, if not thousands, of reviews over time without actually asking for them. It's going to significantly improve your business. This is a core feature of what we do. Now, let me show you an example. This is kind of the results of that part. This is before I get into show you like the payments part of it. After a payment is made, like here's an example. I don't know if John is even on this session right now with us, but here's an example of somebody, a BizPayO user, who has captured 192 reviews in the past 5 months. If you search for him, you're going to see he's here at the top. He also has a separate listing here, which is his BizPayO profile, which he automatically gets. It's like a separate website that displays him. But have a look over here. This is Google's listing. This goes right into Google. And look down here, BizPayO, 192 reviews. This is what is driving him to be at the top here, so when people search, he's there, all without any effort. It's candy for Google, what we're doing, having these automated reviews. So also have a look at this. This is even a deeper search. If you go onto Google and type in Los Angeles CPA, that's like a very broad search. You'll see the first few listings are ads. So, you're not going to pay for those. We don't need to. Many people scroll right past that. And take a look to see who's number one here. Part of the reason why Mr. Weldon is number one is because he has baked in to the background 192 reviews there. So this is a big driver towards his success. All right, are there any questions on that part? And I just want to see here. No, he's not. Any questions on this part? This is a big feature that's built in. It's not anything extra that you have to pay for. It's built in because we know that this works. Okay, let's keep going. One of the ways to enjoy that feature is by using BizPayO holistically in your business. So some people who sign up for BizPayO, like they dabble. They'll use the payment link, like the click here to pay us link. They'll use that a little bit like as a background thing, and like maybe they have another payment processor, and once in a while they'll use BizPayO. That's okay to do, but the right way to do it is to really use the core features by using your payment link, smart engagements, which I'm going to show you coming up, and recurring payments. Then you have the flow of customers using BizPayO, paying you, giving you the payments at no cost or by recovering fees, and getting that review count up to help Google list your practice or business higher, and therefore generating more leads in without having to spend the time on it. All right, let's talk a little bit about smart engagements. This is a new feature that we added. I'm going to demo it for you. This allows you to push out engagements or proposals to your customers, even if they're once a year customers, even if you don't want any money up front with them. If you need a recurring payment, all sorts of proposals, you have the ability in seconds to push them out in BizPayO. It'll boost the acceptance rates and limit the friction because they don't have to do much, your customer. They just click to accept, basically, and then if there's payments that you're asking for, they put in their payment information and it saves it and runs all future payments, and it puts everything on autopilot. A few things. All customers should have an engagement or proposal in place. So for me, over the last 5 years, every single one of my customers, even in my real estate business, everybody signs up to work with me that way. There's no oral arrangements. Even if it's a simple arrangement, because it's in a template, it takes me less than a minute to shoot these out, and the customer will just type their name to digitally sign. Now I've got a record of it. It's all permanently stored. So we use it through templates, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and you're going to set these up after the session today. They're all ready to go for you, basically. And you will use best practices language also in your agreements. So let me go ahead and log out of here and actually go right into BizPayO. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me just back up for 1 sec. The John Weldon listing. This is the live listing here. See, if you come down here and click on BizPayO, or you have him here on BizPayO, or you're searching Los Angeles CPA and it's here, when you click here, which a lot of people will do, it's going to bring you into a page that's entirely separate. See, he has his own separate listing, a review listing, profile listing. He's gotten more reviews since I've listed the 192. That was a screenshot from this morning. So he has his own listing. It's like his own website just for this. You can see what he does. It's a very professional one, interacts. He can list all his different services, and people can look at all of his reviews and see his comments and his feedback. This is included with what you have, and people will come right up here. So it's good for the audience that's looking for you, but it's also good for Google. Google really just loves this. There's nothing like this out there that automates this for you in your business. All right, I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm going to talk about going into BizPayO and going into engagements.
Alan, while you're switching, we have a quick question. from Bob. Is it possible to reply to reviews?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. In here, I don't know if John has, I certainly do all the time. Here you go. Here's one right here from Mabel. Your CPA, your CPA is part of your family. You need them and advice to help you. John Weldon is a great family office. Thanks again, Steve, Kathy. John responds, Mabel, thank you for your review in business. I mean, I could keep going down, but yes, John makes a habit of replying. This is why he's like dominating the local search. By the way, we're illustrating John here, but we have so many other BizPayO users who are doing the same thing and have hundreds of them in a short period of time. The reason is, again, is that he takes this and runs all of his revenues, all of his practice income, not all of it, but pretty much all of it, from engagements to one-time payments to recurring, everything goes through here. He gets paid at no cost, basically, and is able to, completely dominate this reviews, and these reviews stay there permanently, right? I mean, they're there, and it'll just keep growing larger. Next year at this time, if we teach this session, I wouldn't be surprised if he has over 1,000 of them. Okay, let's keep going. Is that okay, Mark? You think that's sufficient, that answer?
Yeah, that was amazing. Thanks.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so I'm now logged into BizPayO like you can log into your account. This is actually a live account that I'm in. Our dashboard has been recently updated, so some of you looking at it might say, that looks different. It's been completely redone, but has a lot of the same features. Of course, in your dashboard, you're going to have some analytics right up here up front as to how you're doing with engagements. But you have the same basic buttons, right? If you want to get paid, you can put in a one-time payment, future payments, request money, all that stuff. Engagements. Now you can engage, view all of your engagements so you can see their statuses, whether they're completed or not, whether they've been accepted or not. You can also now add templates, which I'm going to show you, and you can even send a test engagement. So if this is your first time in and you're saying, well, I really like this thing, but boy, I'd like to can I do it as a test so I can understand the full experience? Yeah, just do a test engagement. It runs it so you can see it both from your side and the customer side. I'm going to show it to you. On the payment side, of course, you could see all your transactions, deposits, syncing, what's actually hitting your bank account, any recurring payments or subscriptions, customer list, your entire review profile that we just looked at, that's all here. This is where I just was, public profile before. And you have badges and widgets that you could add to your signature in your email, for example, or to your website, letting people know about how terrific of a company you are. You can integrate with, let's say, QuickBooks. There will soon be more integrations coming up. And of course, your settings and help and all that stuff is over here as well. All right, what I'd like to do now is spend a few minutes on engagements. This is a big one, and I'm certain that you will begin to use this now and use it holistically since it's going to really help you out. What I'm going to do is sort of set up an engagement for myself as if I'm going to engage a new client. I'm going to show you a little bit about it. So under engagements, I'm just going to click engage a customer. I'm going to be brought to a screen that gives me these 5 things. If you're doing it properly, it's less than a minute. I'm going to go a little slower right now, but it's still going to be pretty quick. I'm going to come and select a customer. Let's say I'm trying to engage Brian Fitzpatrick. I'm going to just simply put his name in here. There are a lot of times, however, that you may not have that customer's email, that customer's full address. You might just have their name and email address. That's okay. You can just do a quick add and just put in their first name, last name, and email. And what'll happen is it'll go ahead and push out the agreement to them. Then when they fill in their name, their address and email, their address and phone number, it'll actually reload it into BizPayO. So now you have a full record of it. And then of course you can just integrate that right back out into whatever other software you're using to populate that. Okay, so in this case here, I'll just go ahead and put in somebody who I know is in the database. So here, Brian Fitzpatrick. It'll go ahead and do it. Now he's in. Now it's asking me, hey, why don't you go ahead and put in your agreement or your proposal? So I have a choice here. I'll upload a file from my computer, which I'm not going to do because that takes too long. Rather, I'm going to use a template. And you'll see here that I have a list of templates already preloaded for my specific business. One here, one here, one here. In this case, this is the one that's most relevant to this particular arrangement. So I'm selecting this just for the heck of it. And when I select it, it's going to give me a preview of what it looks like. I've got my logo in here, an image, which I'm going to show you how to set up. It's already prepared, so it's got the guy's name in here. It's got my information. This is all set up by me beforehand, and then I just click and go. Now, in this case here, let's go with this. I'm going to edit it right on the fly. For the core services to be provided, in this case, it just happens to be preparation of tax work, okay? It's going to be, let's just say, $250 per month. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. You just edit it right here on the fly. There are very important policies that I want everybody to use in their agreements. We're providing you with that language in the templates. So even if you have your own agreements, feel free to upload them right into the system. Just add this type of language in there. We're going to give it to you. You don't have to worry about it right now. It's already ready for you. And then you'll be in shape where you know you can protect all your future payments. In this case here, I'm asking for this customer to pay me $100 in advance when they sign with me, but then going forward $200 every month. Just how I've set it up. Obviously, you can edit this any way you want. Everybody's going to be a little different. The idea is you just click it and go. I'm spending more time on it with you now so you can see how it works, but it's once the template's in there, it's literally click and go. Okay, so let me go ahead and now set up the payment. I'm at step 3. If you remember, I want $100 up front because that's matching the agreement. And what I want is $250 every month with no end date beginning on the 1st of the following month. Again, you can modify it any way you want. The full flexibility here. The goal is you set your agreement up first with how you want your payments. You can also set it up with no payments due. Just engage me and pay me later. That's fine too. It'll still do it and save their payment information. Let me click continue. I have the ability now, and that's step 4, I could edit the message to my customer because they're going to get a little email that's going to say to engage us, just click the link below. They'll click this and they'll begin to basically sign their name and engage me, and they can review everything. Click continue. Now I'm at the point where I could click to save and send, but I'm not going to do that because this is actually a live one and I don't want to really engage Brian. But I'm going to click preview. And I'll be able to see right here what I'm sending. Here's the email that Brian is going to receive. He's going to also have this engagement in here. This is exactly what I edited a second ago. It's all in here. Here's the 250. Here's the 100 right here, just like I did. And the payment schedule. I want $100 up front and $250 a month. And then if I wanted to, I would click save and send. When he receives that, I'll show you that flow in a minute. He's going to just simply type in his name and be able to review the information. So let me go ahead and delete this for a minute. Now, if there's any questions, please launch them on the board. Before I show you the customer view, I'd like to show you about how to add a template. This is the most important part of this. This is what's going to save you a ton of time. So for example, in one of my real estate companies, I have different types of categories. Some people pay me monthly, some people pay me quarterly, some people pay me for a private office, some people pay me for a virtual office. So I have 4 different templates, and as soon as the member comes in and says, well, I want this, I just select it from the template library and go. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to come under engagements, manage templates. When you first begin, you're not going to have anything filled in here, right? Because these are mine. You're going to have nothing in here. You're going to be able to either import from the library that we have for you if you don't have your own engagement agreement or proposal, we have a whole bunch of them in here, which are based on different industries, accountants, attorneys, consultants, agencies. You can go ahead and add whatever you would like, and then modify it. Now, you can also create your own. Let's say you want to cut and paste it right in. You could do that too. Just create a new one, and you'll be brought to the wizard to just create your own. Or you can, of course, upload a Word document. So maybe your agreements right now are in Word or something like that, and you want to use that as your template. Maybe it has a logo in it. You just click Upload Word Doc. It'll bring it up into here. We'll get it formatted for you, and you'll be able to then begin using it in just a matter of moments. And now your library will be set up. So in this case, I'm going to just do import from library, just because that's just going to be easier for me. I'm going to use this one here. So here's an example of what's in the library. Busy Bee Consultants, and again, you just put your logo in there. It has this basic language in there. Core services to be provided, intentionally listed like this. The fees associated with those core services. Policies, very important. I want everybody to be using this in their agreements, even if they're your own. You'll see why when you read it. And then language for the customer to proceed. And then you match. Just also, the rest of the library has other, this is business client monthly, business tax preparation annual. So there's lots of categories in here for the basis of what you need. Just bring them in and begin to populate your library. I'll bring this one in here. Import now. Then what I'll do is I probably will need to edit it a little bit. So when I come in to edit, maybe I have a different logo. I'm just going to simply paste my logo right in here instead of this one, right? Maybe I have a different image here. I'm going to use a different image because maybe that's not mine, or maybe I don't want any of that. I just want text. You'll have your information in here. You'll go ahead and just add your contact info in here for now. Soon it will eventually grab it from your profile, but for now, just make sure it makes sense. And then maybe this language here that we have is, you have a slightly different language. Just paste it right in here or edit it up and begin to have your template ready. Now, when you go through the proposal arrangement or you go through the steps, you just click it. You already know it's set. And then maybe you just modify it on the fly there for the dollar amounts for that arrangement. When you modify it on the fly, it's not going to change the template. It's just going to change it for that specific agreement. So you know you don't have to worry about editing the template every time. Okay? I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it my new template. And I'm going to save it. Now I have another one. And when I go to do my agreements, this will now show up, and I'll be able to work from there. If there's any question, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just move on to the test engagement, because you might want to try this when you first get going. Most people, when they come in, they're going to be like, okay, this thing is amazing. I'm going to use this all throughout my busy season, like for everybody. Like all my money is going to stream in. No more accounts receivable. I don't have to chase my clients down to sign up with me. It's even if a client comes into my office to work with me, I'm still going to have them click the link right in front of them on their phone. Everybody's going to be under an engagement. When they're under engagement, you come under engagements, view all engagements. This is live here, so this gives me a running history of every engagement that I have ever sent through the system. It'll save all the details, including the actual agreement. I never have to put that on my local computer or anything. It's all in here in the cloud. So on this particular, let's go with this one here. Actually, this is the real Brian. At 11:45 a.m. on October 7th, I sent my agreement out to him. He signed for it 7 days later, and he made the payments. If I open it up, it has the copy of his agreement in here. It lets me know the date that he signed, how much he paid, and what his scheduled payments are going forward. In this case, $175 a month. I never have to ask him to pay me. It's automatically scheduled to run on the 15th of the month. And you could see all of that under payments, subscriptions. You can see everybody's scheduled payment. I've never asked him for money. It just comes in. That's part of the way he signs up with me. For my accounting business, it's the same thing. Somebody signs up as part of their terms and conditions, which is the language we're helping you have in addition to what you might have. They're agreeing that they're paying you per the profile that they're putting into place now, recurring, and for any additional charges that you could have. Maybe next month you have to spend 3 more hours on a project. You don't want to have to send them something else. They're agreeing that the payment profile that they've used when signed up with you is saved in the system. He's now a customer or she's a customer. After the client says, yes, the 3 hours I approve, it's another $400 or $600, you have the ability to go in and just initiate that payment to yourself under Get Paid, enter a one-time payment. You just come in and click that and then select the client and pull it. Now, of course, it's after they've said, yeah, that's okay, I approve the 3 hours, but they don't have to spend the time making the payment to you, logging into their bank, writing a check, whatever they're doing. They're going to be so thankful that they don't have to do it anymore. It's going to really be great. Hey, I'm done. I trust my provider. I don't have to worry about that. And when they sign the agreement with you, they're signing up for that also. You're going to have so many people thank you for the method that you're now going to be working with them. Okay. Let's move on to the demo real quick. So you should do this when you join and start. Just come in like today and just go engagements, send test engagement. So it's a mock customer that we use BusyBee, but pretend that you're engaging BusyBee. It's all set up just for you to see the flow. So I'll do it here. In this case, BusyBee. I have to type that in because that's the only customer that will work here for the test. So again, you're engaging BusyBee. And in this case here, we're going to use the template. But again, you could always attach a file if you wanted to, or maybe you'll attach a supplementary file, maybe a brochure for your firm or something else that you think would be kind of cool, but it's not the main thing they're signing. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the sample engagement. So here you go. Here's the engagement. And in this case, I'll just click continue. We've already done this. In this case here, $250 up front, $150 every month, no end date, same type of thing we just did. But that's what the agreement says, that's baked into it. So the payments are already in there, so you don't have to load them. But of course, you can change them. Click continue. You could edit this if you want. Otherwise, click continue. This is a final confirmation. You'll be able to, in the real environment, the live environment, preview it, but for now you're just proceeding. It's going to now calculate it and get it ready to go. And now you're viewing what your customer is going to see. So now it's out of your hand. You shot off the proposal to them. They're now getting this email, which you already know about. They're going to click this link to engage you. They'll then click continue, and they'll now be brought into the sign up section. This is what you're signing up for. $250 due now, future payments of $100 every month. If they want to view the agreement, which they're probably going to, they just click here. This is what you just sent to them. Very smooth experience for them. They're going to type their name in here. That's their digital signature, which is going to be saved. It's going to be saved in the portal, including their IP address and date and timestamp. So it is a valid binding signature as long as your agreement has the right language in it, which it's going to, of course, because we're giving it to you if you don't already have it. They'll click continue. They'll be asked here to put in their billing information, like how are they paying the $100 of the $250? So they're going to put in their information. If you don't already have it in the system because they're in a quick add, when they put it in here, it'll load it up right in BizPayO for you, so you never have to ask for it again. This is basic stuff for any type of e-commerce portal. They'll put in their credit card or they'll put in their e-check, direct bank information, however they want to do it. They'll be offered the choice to add a new method. In this case, we've just put a credit card because that's how they're going to pay. Click continue. And they're finally at the last step where they're just like, okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to engaging them. Yeah, I know that I'm paying $250 right now and I'm paying $150 a month. Yes, I'm good to go. They click and they accept your agreement. And then they receive this message here. Thank you for your business. We'll look forward to doing business with you. And that's it. Now, for you, this is a note for you. You're going to get an email right now that says you've been engaged. As a matter of fact, it's going to probably come into my inbox now. And of course, it's just a test. And then all of that information is going to be loaded. There's the email right there. See it on the right side? Here it is. I've just been engaged, even though it's a test engagement. And that's pretty much it. Now you can return to your dashboard. And when you return to your dashboard, you'll see under engagements, view all engagements, that Busy Bee, Buzz Singer, that's the one we just did a second ago, has accepted our agreement. And that's what it'll look like for real throughout them. Okay. Mark, are there any questions I should address? Looks like there's a lot of questions coming in here.
Yeah, there are. Let's see. Let's take it from the top. So Sarah wants to know, can I send a proposal just to get it e-signed without asking for payment information?
Of course, Sarah, you can do that. I mean, it's not really the recommended way, but there are people who want to do it, so let me show it to you. So Sarah, for you, you're going to go to Engage a Customer, select a customer. Let me actually just do, I'll do Brian again. I'll just delete them all. So after you come in here, Sarah, what you're going to do is I'll go ahead and use a template. Now, your template, of course, when you add it, your template is going to say, you know, fees are going to be this, how much are we requesting now? Remit 0, right? That's what you're going to do, 0 right now. You don't have to pay anything. I'll get paid when I finish your work. By the way, I do not recommend that. I recommend every client that you pick up gives you something up front, something, $20, something to be in the game. But, you know, you and I could talk about that separately. You click continue. And then what you do here is, you see this here? Capture payment info anyway. So your answers are going to be, do I want money up front when they sign? No. Do I want a recurring or future payments? No. Hey, well, would I like to capture their payment info, meaning their credit card or their ACH? If you click yes, what's going to happen is they'll digitally sign, but it'll also ask them to put in their credit card or ACH information, even though nothing will be charged. It'll ask for them to preload that for you. So when your project is done and they approve it, you can go right under get paid and pull the payment. So if you're not going to ask for the client to make any payment up front, it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least get them to put their payment profile in something. If they don't want to do that, honestly, I'm not sure I want them as a client. They're not really that committed to me, but you could do it any way you want. Hopefully that answers that question for you. Go ahead, Mark.
Great. Let's see. We have a question from Steven. Can I tell if someone opened my engagement email or not?
Yes, absolutely. Engagements, view all engagements. Well, you see this column here? Opened. So here, I sent this one on 1/9. It took me 2 minutes to prepare it. 12:28, 12:30. Would you believe they opened it up at the same moment? Well, actually, this is Buzz Singer. That's not a good example. Let's go for a real one. Here's a real example. 11:25. 3:39 prepared. It took me a few minutes to prepare it. Later that afternoon, they opened it, and then they actually, signed it and typed their name in and put the payment information in a few minutes later. But this one here, they never opened it yet. Of course, I've sent her an email. Hey, did you get it? Yes, I'm still waiting. You could resend it again here too. You could click right here and you could click the button to resend it. But I do use this as a system. These here, they're open, something's cooking. Look at this one here. Opened it, never accepted it. Maybe they didn't like the terms. Maybe there's something about me they don't like. I don't know, but I have the ability to see what's cooking. Very helpful tool. Go ahead, Mark.
Something's cooking. I love it. Okay, moving right along. Let's see. We have, oh, this is a great question. Maybe I can actually tackle this.
Go ahead. You got it. You do it.
So this one is about reviews. And this is from David. He's asking, how can I increase my SEO even if I don't have any BizPayO reviews yet? That's a really great question, and you know, folks like John Weldon, you know, he's really doing a great job. He's processing a lot of payments, therefore he's getting a lot of reviews. Now, even if you don't have a lot of reviews on the system, if you look at the page you see in front of you, everything on the page is actually SEO optimized for you. So when you go into BizPayO, you have the ability to have a description, a title. You can enter in all sorts of information about your business. And if you scroll down a little bit there, Alan, you can also see in your review profile, you have the ability to add a portfolio. So you obviously have your BizPayO verified professional because you're in our system. You can add photos, pictures of your office space, of your coworkers, any sorts of images about your work. You have a what we do section, and this information here is actually combed by Google. It actually picks up everything on this page, including the facts, and that way it allows you, the more information you put onto this page, the better your SEO gets, because it picks it up, it sends it to Google, and it's there for you. So it's a one-time thing that you can do. If you ever want to go and add in more facts, we have some preloaded facts you can use, or you can just enter in your own. But all this information basically gets sent right to Google and other major search engines. And so what happens is when you join BizPayO and you enter in, you know, on day one, you fill out your profile, you're pretty much set. All you're doing at that point is waiting for your reviews to come in. And then, you know, like John Weldon, you're replying to those reviews, which further shows Google that, hey, this person is active, it's replying. Google loves that. And it's like a perfect storm that enters Google. It allows you to, you know, rank higher. And we also link directly back to your website as well. So it's a very fortuitous cycle. And essentially, you know, the more you get paid, the more reviews you get. And even if you're not getting a lot of reviews on day one, we highly encourage you to fill out your reviews profile, and that way you can get a head start on Google search.
Thanks, Mark. That's terrific. Yeah, I mean, I think the key is you know, you come in here and you get this thing filled out, but really, I mean, you know, the second part of the magic is getting, you know, getting payments to run through, get paid on BizPayO, and then all of a sudden it just begins to go way more than just having the review profile. But it is a start by having it, because you have something else indexed, which makes a lot of sense, a separate website effectively indexed. Are there any other questions, Mark?
Looks like there is one more from Scott. Can I import my customers from my CRM?
Yes. You can come right under customers and customer list. And then there's an import customers here. So you'll be able to import it in a bunch of different ways. You can import it directly from QuickBooks if you've used the sync feature. Otherwise, you'll do the CSV file to import, which is probably what you'll do depending on what CRM you're using. Any other questions?
Looks like one more just popped in here. Am I able to synchronize to QuickBooks?
Yeah, under apps, QuickBooks Sync. You'll be able to sync all of the items to QuickBooks. And by the way, let me just show you something else. Under payments, you're going to be able to tell all the payments that are arriving, right? So all of your transactions, you get paid 10 times today, everything's going to be showing up here and letting you know how many payments are arriving, when they came in, etc. But just remember, and you know, this here is e-check, right? So this is credit card, so it's going to give you everything, and you'll get email notifications too. Just remember something: it's possible that these 3 transactions here could batch together and fund into your account as one number. In this case, it would be about what $2,800. That's very common. 3 transactions, if it's all done in one day, a one day window, they get batched. This is one of the things that tortures people, since they have a hard time going back to each individual transaction, and because the bank statement doesn't always match exactly what all the individual transactions are. But we've done the heavy lifting under payments, deposits, and syncing. It's the same thing that we've done, but if you take a look here, like for example down here, this 430.25 is actually 2 of them batched together. So this is hitting your bank statement, 430.25. It's made up of these 2. And all of that, if you do the QuickBooks Sync, it'll post it to cash by a debit and then offset an account, basically unmatched BizPayO, which is a balance sheet account that you'll be able to then take any receivable you have in QuickBooks and just quickly receive payment right against that, and it's done. You clear it out. Very easy to do. So here's one here, 15 of them came in, right? And like that's a pain in the neck to do if you're doing them without the batching of it as it does here, but we're doing it for you. So hopefully that helps. Any other questions, Mark?
How much does BizPayO cost?
I'll let you answer that, Mark.
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have 3 plans, and essentially we have a free plan where you can go to bizpayo.com to sign up. And the free plan basically gives you all of the main benefits. The only limitation is the amount of engagements that you can send. We limit that to 5 engagements or subscriptions like you saw on the demo. It also doesn't allow you to do the QuickBooks Sync. So on the semi-optimized plan, the $39 per month, it's essentially unlimited. So you have unlimited subscriptions, unlimited engagements. You can synchronize to QuickBooks. That's QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online as well. And most of our customers usually fall into the semi-optimized because they don't have to worry about being limited to any amount of subscriptions and engagements. Essentially, that's on autopilot. They're synchronizing QuickBooks in the background. They don't have to touch it. As Alan mentioned, you don't have to manually, export and import information. And then the last plan is the fully optimized, and these are more for the heavy hitters, right? You get everything that we just mentioned, plus you get discounts if you are spending a certain amount of information. And so further down the page, you can see the details on the savings you get. So if it's over $200,000 a year you're spending, you get $400 cash back. If it's over $500,000, you get $600 cash back, or credits toward your monthly fee. But like I said, most of our customers fall into the mid-range, the $39, where they're syncing the QuickBooks, they have unlimited engagements and subscriptions. But again, we have free trial, so you can try the 14-day free trial to see if it's a good fit for you with no restrictions. And if you'd like to continue, then you're good to go. And of course, the free plan is if you're super light and you don't really see a need to engage a lot of folks or have subscriptions or do any of the QuickBooks Sync, then that's a good fit for you, and that's free forever. Did I miss anything, Alan? Anything you want to add?
I do. I just want to make clarity, Mark, when you said the fully optimized, if you spend more than $200,000 a year, and I think what you meant to say was if you get paid or collect or process more than $200,000 a year, you get $400 back, not spend. Obviously, this is about getting in money, and if you process more than $500,000 a year, you get back $600, which makes this effectively kind of like for free. But there's something else. If you're a Build Your Firm website customer of ours, so I'm with BizPayO, but I'm also with Build Your Firm. I started that company also. This is just a separate project that I work on. If you're a Build Your Firm website customer and you're at the platinum level of website hosting with us, this here is free. So it depends who you are. If you're coming to us, hey, I just want BizPayO, I don't have a relationship with Build Your Firm as my website provider, then these are the prices. If you're with Build Your Firm and you're a platinum level user, hey, You get this included with your subscription, so, and you get the unlimited usage. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, any other questions that we need to address, Mark?
Looks like that is all for now.
All right, so let's do this. I want to thank everybody for joining and wishing everybody a good season and good times ahead. We will stay on the session just for another 5 minutes, just muted in case more questions come in a second. So, don't feel like it's going to literally end, but you can all leave if you'd like. And I think if you have any other questions, I think you know how to get in touch with us, right? Yeah, I think you have Mark's information and, Build Your Firm's information, and we're all basically the same entity. So I think that's it. I want to wish everybody a wonderful day.